Hey everybody, it's Scotty again with Scooter's Game Vault, and today, tonight, we're going to be playing Townsfolk Tussle. I've been playing this game quite a bit for the last couple of weeks, as I'm trying to figure out what I wanted to film, and this one has really stuck. I have been really having a lot of fun with this one. It's a boss battler. You choose a ruffian to fight, and you choose your characters, and you kind of go to town on them, trying to defeat them before they defeat you, knock you out. I'm going to be doing it a little differently than the actual game, because over here there's like a track of 4 different trackers, or 4 different spots, and what a normal game is supposed to have is you're supposed to have 4 different ruffians on here. But just for the sake of time, and I don't want this game to be like 3 hours long, I'm just going to do one boss fight, and that's going to be Peppin Milkfrog, this cool little guy. So we're going to fight him, but normally you'll have 4 different ones on here, and so every time you beat one, you will reveal the next one you fight, and it kind of changes how they work and how the fight works. And so I just randomly picked one out of the pile, and I got Peppin Milkfrog. But on the tracker, he's gonna be a chump, and so like his card will have chump, hooligan, troublemaker, and final fight. And so if he was like on the final fight, there'd be like a special setup for him. If he was on troublemaker, he'd have some special passive ability that would make him a little harder. So depending on like the tier level that the boss is on, it can completely change how the game is. So there's a lot of replayability with this. So like if I played this tomorrow and I randomly shuffled and I got him on hooligan, the fight could be completely different, which is really, really cool. Very unique play style, very unique game. And so I have it all set up. And so pretty much the goal is the townsfolk, these guys, are supposed to defeat the ruffian. And so, with that, I have chosen 2 townsfolk, because this game is 2 to 5 players, so I'm just going to do 2 players. And so I'm going to be playing as Norman Fishboy and Georgie Irongut. So I painted these guys. So here is Norman Fishboy. He's a pretty cool looking broski. Let me make sure I'm putting him back in his right spot. He's got to be 3 away. There we go. And then Georgie Irongut, he's like a prince, a dead cow with a giant mouth on his stomach. He's pretty interesting. And here are their boards. So here's Norman Fishboy. I'll do close-ups with these, but that's Norman Fishboy. And so each character can hold headgear, chest gear, leg gear, a left weapon, a right weapon, unless you have a 2-handed weapon, which he does. So he has a 2-handed weapon, so it covers both of those. And then an accessory. And then they have their passives. So you can do those whenever if you have like the specific abilities. So you have your health, that's how much life you have. If you go down past 1, you're knocked out. You got your movement, so this is how many movements you can do on a turn. So he can move 4 spaces on his turn. And so like these black markers are just to indicate what my max is. As you play through the game, you can get items that will like increase it. So like there'll be like, I would say plus 2 to HP. I'd raise his HP up to 6 as long as he's holding that weapon. Moxie, or they just say Mox, is how you fight. It's how you use things. So like my weapon is 2 Mox, which is what I have. So all I'd be able to do is attack once, which you can only do that anyways. You can only use your weapon once unless stated otherwise. But I would use all my Moxie to attack once. So he's kind of low with his Moxie. And then accuracy is, so when you use your attack, when you do your attack, you can add your accuracy to that attack roll. So I have a +2. So if I rolled, a 3, it'd bring up my accuracy for my roll to a 5, just because of that boost. So that's kind of how that works with attacking and stuff like that. And then like other items can use Mox too. So with me having the 2 Mox, I could just determine either to use my reliable rod, which is I need to use 2 Mox to even use it, or my fishy cap, which my fishy cap, I need to use 2 mocks to throw a fish at the enemy if I'm by a pond or the river. So I'd have to decide which one I'd want to do on my specific turn. Same thing with Georgie Irongut. He's got his passives. He has his starting weapon, which is another 2-handed weapon. And he starts with an accessory, so he has a little different one. He's got a little bit lower HP. He's got the same movement. His mox is 2 higher. His accuracy is kind of bad. But he's an interesting character. I have fun with him. And with this mode that I'm playing, so I'm playing the 3-round mode, quote unquote 3-round mode. We're doing 1 round. But since we're doing 1 round, I'm starting myself with 10. I should put these away actually, just because I'm doing that. But I'm starting with 10 coins. And so what you use coins for are to buy during the town phase. But yeah, that's pretty much how to play. Your goal is to defeat the ruffian before they defeat you. And so the reason why this game gets so hard is because like you can get up to the final fight and you lose. You defeated 3 bosses, you get to the final one and you still lose. That's kind of frustrating. So the goal is just to try to make it as far as you can. It's like a battle arena. But then the terrain, there's also the terrain on the board, and so each terrain has their own specific thing that they can do, like the wishing well up there, right here. You can pay 2 coins to make a wish, and if you make a wish, you take your dice, you take your 10-sided dice, and you roll it, and whatever you get is what it does. Which, you know, if I rolled that while actually playing, that would have been really nice. But I believe that is it. I have it all set up. We got the beat in order. So the beat in order is who goes first during the fighting, and then the buying order is who goes first during buying. And so we will go into the town phase. And so we're on the town phase side of this board. And so what we do first is we draw up to 3 feats, which are these cards over here. So these are feats. And what feats are is they're kind of like goals. They're like objectives. So each player grabs 3 feats. They can look at them, but then they have to flip them back down for the rest of this match, which I find to be a bit weird because it's like, how am I supposed to know how I'm completing it? I got to remember, but like, what if I forgot? So I'm gonna draw my 3 feats for Norman and for Georgie Irongut. And so I'm going to look at them just because, you know, for the sake of me playing this, I'm going to look at, you know, what I'm doing, what I got to do. And so I'm not going to read all of these, but like this one. This one's going to be maybe possible. Tough as nails. I have to end the fight as the only survivor. So Georgie Irongut has to get knocked out, and then I have to defeat Milkfrog with Norman Fishboy. And if I do that, I complete this. And I get 3 points, and I get 6 coins for completing it. So every time you complete these, you either get coins, or some of them will allow you to increase your damage to ruffians, they'll increase your accuracy for this specific fight, movement, etc., etc. But the points are whoever has the most points at the end of each ruffian fight will get the ruffian-specific loot. So there's a whole deck for ruffian-specific loot. And his ruffian card will tell me which items to grab out of here. So that's kind of, you know, a fun little, you know, competitive. That's where it kind of gets a little competitive with your teammates. It's like, okay, I want to try and achieve all of my feats so that I get the cool gear. So I get the better gear, so I'm a bit stronger for the next fight. And then, like for Georgie Irongut, he's got untouchable. Complete a fight at max HP. So he just can't, he can get hit, but he's got to try to make sure he gets back up to max HP before the end of this fight. So he'll get 2 points with that and 4 points. So that's pretty much it for feats. And then we pull town events. So we have town events over here. So these are randomized cards, and they're just something that could either hurt you a little bit. Like I've had some where it's like, hey, roll this dice, and whatever you get, your movement is reduced by 2 for the rest of this fight, which is honestly super annoying. But some of them have secrets, so if it has a secret on the top of it, you do not tell anyone about it. You read it to yourself, and you resolve it that way. But if it doesn't have secret on the top, everyone reads it out loud. So let's see what Norman gets, and let's see what Georgie Irongut gets. So Norman Fishboy has Kitty Savior. A small cottage is on fire, most likely from a no-good ruffian. You see a frightened kitty on the roof. It looks like it's in trouble. Consumable owned. You scale a nearby tree and reach for the kitty. It smells something it likes and jumps into your arms. What a hero! You feel a sense of accomplishment. Keep this card in front of you. It counts as a 1-point feat of metal. Oh, well, that's kind of nice. Or, I won't get this because I don't have a consumable. So, no consumable owned. You scale a nearby tree and reach for the kitty, but it looks confused. It swiftly jumps down on the ground, leaving you looking like a chump. Discard one unaccomplished feat of metal. Well, that's unfortunate. See, like I said, it can hurt you if you, don't listen or don't have anything correctly for it. So let's see. I think I'm gonna get rid of the toughest nails one. Like I don't feel like I'm gonna be the only one left. So that one I'm gonna discard. So Georgie Ironguts, traveling salesman. A tall man with a curly mustache rolls towards you on an ox-drawn cart. Say, fella, you look like you could use some gear. I've got just the thing for you. Let's see about that roll. So what it says is plus your mox. So it has a bunch of different things with like numbers 1 to 4, 5 to 8, and 9 high or plus, 9 or higher. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll, and I'm going to add my moxie to it because it says to add plus max mox. So let's see what we get. So I got a 5, and then my max mox is 4, so I rolled a 9. So I get the 9. So reveal the top card of the peddler deck. You may purchase it immediately for 5 coins. For 5 coins less. If not, put it back at the bottom. So the peddler deck are these cards over here. These are blue cards. So these are just better gear that you can get during the town phase. I will put 10 out, and I can look, see what I want to buy, and then after I don't want anything, put it away, and we go to the fight phase. So put that down. We're gonna look at the top. The butterfly. Ooh. Oh, I don't know here. I might buy it and just put it in my stash. That's minus 1 HP. No, I'm not gonna do it. We're gonna discard that. Okay, and so that is the town events. So we resolve those immediately. And next, I put out the peddlers. So I put 10 of these out, faced up, so that we can see what we are going to be buying. Ooh, there's some pretty, well, I'm poor. These are a lot of high itemed things. Okay. You may use mox to pay for movement. Interesting. The mox cost of your gear, oh, that's a 12. That's unfortunate. A finicky grenade. Well, there really isn't anything good here. Restores 1 HP to another Townsfolk within this many squares where X is the number of feats you've completed. Dude, these are terrible. I already have that, dude. I think I'm gonna have Georgie Irongut buy the fancy joggers, so I get +1 to my movement, and I can use mox to pay for even more movement. That's somewhat decent. So we'll get an increase to our movement. I'm gonna put that away and get 1 coin back. And then I reveal the next peddler. When you deal damage with a whipper gun, Oh, no, that's kind of useless. All right, there's nothing that I want with him, so I now take these away. Okay. So those are now gone. And now we go to the fight phase. So I flip this board over. And now I put Peppin Milkfrog's. Ooh, I just bent that. That was not what I intended to do. But we put Peppin Milkfrog's thing there. Lines up on there. And with 2 players, he has 6 movement and 11 HP. So this over here is the tracker to see, you know, what he's like, what his ability, what his movement is, and how much HP. And then also his action deck, which is, you know, his abilities and stuff. But here, I'll put this up as well so you can kind of see what it tells me to do with the HP, the movement. And then you can see on the back how I set up the board. So I followed this board back, this map back here to set up his fight. And so, since he's a chump, since we're on the chump, I'm going to put him up here because ruffians go first. Since he's a chump, simple delivery boy. Nothing special about this long-legged fellow. Should be a cinch. So nothing special about him, nothing to be a bit scared about. He has a weakness though, milk burn backside. Whenever Peppin is placed in a new location, he takes 1 damage. So, the thing with weaknesses is there's a card in there that will usually say that activates his weakness now. And once his weakness is activated, it really helps the fight. And then his ruffian gear rewards, so when you defeat him, we can either hopefully get a milk-soaked limb, which is like one of his better weapons. It's a really good weapon. Frog eyes or the milkman's hat. Here's a little lore about the dairy boy Peppin Milkfrog. Peppin is an out-of-towner, but his face is well known around Eureka Springs. He was a milkman that sold his own patented milk from town to town, which he claimed knocked the socks off the standard stuff, yet he never explained what or where it came from. After some shady milk-related deaths in Eureka Springs, the old sheriff banned Peppin from peddling his milk in town. Peppin's reputation was tarnished, and his milkman days were over. Now Peppin is back to seek vengeance on the people who shunned his milk and ruined his career. All right, Peppin Milk Boy. Then I believe we are ready to go. All right, cool. Let's get it. So Peppin is going to go first. So he's going to draw one of his action cards from his action deck. Forced Guzzle. Peppin gives you a free sample. Ugh. Target. Townsfolk with the lowest movement, which is going to be Norman Fishboy. Move towards the target. If Peppin reaches them, trigger the after effect. So, Peppin is going to turn, and since he's got 6 movements, he's going to go 1, 2, 3. He reaches me in 3, so the after effect will go into effect. Peppin grabs the target by the throat, oh my, forcing a full bottle of milk down their gullet. They look like they're having a hard time keeping it down. Keep this card in front of the target and place 2 counters on it. Oh gosh. That's kind of scary. At the start of your turn, remove a counter from this card. When the last counter is removed, you unleash a wave of vomit. You take 1 damage and all other characters within 5 squares of you take 2 damage. Then discard this card. Whoa. Well, that's not that's not ideal. Okay. So, now Norman Fishboy is up. And what we're going to do, we're going to attack. We're going to try and hit him. So I'm going to use my reliable rod, which is 2 mocks. I need a 6 or higher to hit. So let's see. And I got my 2 accuracy, so hopefully I can boost it. I got an 8, so 9, 10, so I hit. He takes 1 damage, because it only does 1 damage. Then I'm going to move. I have 4 movement, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. 4. We'll do that. Okay, now Georgie Iron Gut is gonna go. Let's see. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're gonna try and attack. So I need a 5 or higher, and I have a -1 to accuracy. So if I get a 5, it goes down to a 4 because of that -1. Ah! And I got a 5. How unfortunate. So Georgie Iron Gut does not attack. Alright, so now it is Peppin Milkfrog's turn again. Oh, I have to remove this token. I forgot about that. Okay. So, roundhouse swing. Peppin swings with arms extended. Target the farthest townsfolk. Move towards the townsfolk. All townsfolk who collide with Peppin during this action take 1 damage, then deal 1 damage to all townsfolk adjacent to Peppin. So, he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he reaches me. He's going to hit me. I take 1 damage. And then the after effect, if anyone owns the Milk Soak limb, which nobody does, blood flies from Peppin's fresh wound. Peppin takes 1 damage. Aww. Well, that's unfortunate. All right. So now it's this turn, and that last counter goes off, so the Force Guzzle activates. So you take 1. I take another damage. Fun. Oh, this might be a quick one. I might just get knocked out. When the last counter is removed, you unleash a wave of vomit. You take 1 damage, and all other characters within 5 squares of you take 2 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, Iron Gut is not within 10 squares. 5 squares, I mean. Because it goes straight across and up and down. So Peppin, I believe, takes damage here. No, all other characters. I guess I would say Ruffian, so he doesn't take damage, which is unfortunate. Okay. So it is Norman's turn, and what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to use the Fishy Cap. So the Fishy Cap, I can use 2 mocks to throw a fish at him for 2 damage, as long as I am adjacent to the moat, which I am on the moat right now. So I can only use it once per fight. So let's hope I can do this. This will be my only thing I can do, though. So it's a 6 plus my 2, so that's an 8. So he takes 2 damage. And now I can't use the Fishy Cap for the rest of this fight. Okay. So I have 4 movement. I'm going to start going this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I want to activate this trap. Because this trap is really strong. Because if you use 2 mocks, you can set the trap. If you get a 1 or 2, you fail to set it. If you get a 3 or higher, you set it. And if the Ruffian moves on it, they take 2 damage and they lose 2 movement. So really strong. Okay, so we're going to have Georgie go 1, 2, and Georgie is going to try and smack him. I got a 7 minus the 1, that's a 6. So I hit him, he takes 2 damage. And so what happens once he gets past this level, this 7 HP, there's a red boost on it, which means breaking point. And so now Peppin goes immediately. He cancels in front of Iron Gut and goes immediately because he's pissed. Froggy Flatten. Peppin springs into the air, becoming a tiny speck in the sky. Target the Dude, it's always the farthest. Place Peppin adjacent to the target regardless of the distance. Oh, wow, that's really fun. So he just goes right there. Peppin flattens you like a pancake. Oh, so he honestly just goes right there and pushes me out of the way and flattens me. That's fun. You take 1 damage or lower movement by 2. I think I'm going to lower my movement by 2. That's more worth in my opinion. And then he gets to go again because there's nothing else I can do with Georgie Irongut. And so when the breaking point activates, the Ruffian immediately gets to go. It just interrupts anything and just goes. And then if there's nothing else that the townsfolk could do on their turn, then it's the Ruffian's turn again. But also, I got Provoker. So I achieved this feat. Personally trigger a Ruffian's breaking point. So I'm going to choose the 1 damage to him. Because this has a choice of 4 coins or 1 damage. So I'm just going to give 1 damage to the Ruffian. So I have that completed. Nice. So let's see what Peppin does again. Frothy Frenzy. Peppin grabs a slimy milk bottle from his crate and chugs. Target is none. Peppin is invigorated by his milk. He gains 1 movement. Yeah, so he gains 1 movement, and I reshuffle the action deck and play the net. Oh, dude. So he gets to go. He pretty much just went 3 times. Oh, dude. I really hope I don't get that counter one. That's really unfortunate, but I think we're going to be okay. He only has 5 HP left. So, let's see. Farthest Townsfolk, which is going to be Georgie Irongut. Oh, it's the flattened one. Okay, so he's going to go whoosh, smash, and push you out of the way. I think I'm going to do the movement, reduce the movement. Okay. So now it is Norman's turn. So I'm going to have Norman go 1, 2, 3. I'm going to use 2 mocks to try and set the trap. So I don't get to use my accuracy for these. It's only for attack rolls. So this is just straight, hopefully, my accuracy. I got a 4. Okay, 3 or higher. You set the trap. So the trap is now set. If a Ruffian moves onto the trap, for any reason, they immediately take 2 damage. Oh, shoot. Wait, I was here, right? Yes. 1, 2. Okay. No, it's okay. We're fine. I don't know why I moved myself onto it. But I can still activate it while I'm adjacent. Okay, so that is his turn. That's all he can do. We're going to have Georgie go again. Let's hopefully he can hit him. It's a 9! That's -1, so that's an 8. So he takes 2 damage, 1, 2. Breaking point once again, so Peppin goes. Oh gosh. Target the townsfolk with the lowest movement. So move towards the target with the lowest movement, which is me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, he reaches me, which is unfortunate. And he doesn't move onto the trap, which is even more unfortunate. Peppin grabs the target. Oh no, it's this one again. Oh, I really did a bad job of shuffling, so... well, that's unfortunate. And now it's just enraged, so now... closest townsfolk. The Jug Crush. Move towards the target. Yep, he's right on me. The target has a chance to react. They must choose 1. Cower. The target cowers and the jug glances off their head. They take 1 damage and must lower their accuracy by 1. Brace for impact if Mox is 3+. Well, I can't do that because I don't have a Mox of 3+. So I have to take 1 damage and lower my accuracy by 1. Yay! Okay. So what I'm going to do is hopefully I can hit here. So I'm going to go 1. And so the cool thing about Norman is he's a passive called Strange Attraction. When I hit a Ruffian with any weapon, I can pull them up to 2 squares. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Peppin and drag him onto the trap. And if I do this, if I can actually hit him, Peppin will die here. So we want this to happen. That's a 7 plus the 1. That's an 8. So I hit Peppin for 1 damage, drag him onto the trap. he takes 2 damage, and Peppin is dead. So, now with Peppin dead, I know that was a very, very unclimactic fight. I'll definitely try to do a full-on fight with multiple. Maybe I'll do the 3-round mode where we don't start with Chump. We just start with Hooligan, Troublemaker, and Final Fight. It would be a very long video because with more players, it's like around an extra 40 minutes per player. So if I'm playing with like 4 people, that's like almost like a 3-hour game. So I don't want to do a drag on like that. But we'll see. So now that I've defeated Peppin, I find his ruffian gear in here. So I need to find the milk-soaked limb, the frog eyes, and milkman's hat. So there's the milkman's hat, there's the frog eyes, and there's the limb. All right, nice. They're all together. And so what I do now is I shuffle these together. And so Georgie Iron Gut is going to be the one to get this. If you roll a 2 or lower attack. Yeah, so I did not achieve any feats with Norman. And so since Georgie Iron Gut is the only one who completed a feat, he is going to be the one who gets to get the ruffian gear. So let us see what we get. All right, we're going to choose the top one. We get milk-soaked limb. It's a 2-handed staff. 2 mocks to use it. You need a 4 or higher to hit, and it does 2 damage. And on a critical hit with this weapon, the ruffian loses 1 movement. Dang, that's pretty good. But then, yeah, you pretty much just rinse and repeat. If there were more bosses, more ruffians on here, I'd take away Peppin Milkfrogs, and I'd take whoever was on the Hooligan, put them on there. We do town phase. We get 6 coins for defeating a ruffian, so we all get 6 coins. And so now that we got money, maybe buy some new stuff from the peddler, and then we start the next boss fight. I set up a whole new area for the next boss fight, and you kind of go from there. But yeah, that's kind of a, I'd say, speed run version of Townsfolk Tussle, since I only did 1 boss fight and I'm supposed to do 4 or just 3 if I did the 3-round mode. But I hope you guys enjoy this video. I do want to start getting out some more playthrough videos. I've just been trying to figure out which games to do. My Zombicide video did pretty decent, so I would want to do an even harder mission of that with some friends and stuff like that. I do want to get a Dead Cells playthrough. I need to get a Slay the Spire playthrough. I'm kind of like hesitating with that one because of how much I don't like the video game, not gonna lie. So I'm worried I'm not gonna like the board game, but I should give it a try. I need to do a Primal the Awakening. That one's a really cool game that I have. But I thought I'd do Townsfolk Tussle since I've been playing this one a lot recently, and I've been having a really, really great time with it. It just reminds me of Cuphead, and me and my buddy, we've been playing it a lot on Townsfolk. We've been playing it on Tabletop Simulator a lot, so I've been getting a lot of practice with this game, and just kind of utilizing the environment more to help take out the ruffians. But me and him have been having a lot of fun with this game, and I feel like he's on the brink of buying it. But yeah, so thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn that notification button on to see when I have new shorts coming out, because I usually have a new short of a painted miniature coming out every single day, and a new video usually every week. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!